And here's part 5. This is what I believe happened to Eve, how she was beguiled. A similar circumstance, and they throw it in our face in these movies. Here you go.
Yes.
We just asked if he was the son of Zeus.
Your birth began with the rebellion of King Perseus. Mankind had grown tired of the gods' mistreatment and cruelty. Perseus led a siege on Olympus. It is said the other gods wanted to simply lay waste.
I just gotta pause it every little bit so they don't delete this video.
To Perseus and his army. But Zeus loved man too much. Instead, he chose to make an example of Perseus. He disguised himself as the king.
There he is, shape-shifting.
And visited the chamber where the king's wife was sleeping. My king.
So there he shape-shifted into the king, fooling the wife, the queen. Here comes the real king. Now he's back to Zeus. Puts his angel wings on. Turns into the eagle, shape-shifting again.
The execution of his wife and Zeus's newborn.
So I believe that's where Cain came from and that lineage. And Perseus, like the other and of course it's thunder and lightning. Satan. I beheld Satan as lightning from the heavens, lightning falling from the heavens, and the prince of the power of the air. This guy's cursing Zeus, and he killed the wife, and he thought he got rid of the seed that Zeus or Satan planted in the woman, and now he's throwing the casket over into the ocean. And what he doesn't realize is Perseus, being what they called a demigod, lowercase g, what we call a Nephilim or a giant. And the word giant, if you look it up, isn't necessarily someone of huge height. A giant in industry, just a normal looking person with superior intellect, other powers, forecasting the future, strength. So a giant isn't just tall people. And that's where, people get mixed up with the Bible, meaning, when they start going to Nephilim and all these other things, they weren't necessarily just tall. That's why I think we have modern day Nephilim today, which are the giants, that are just half angelic and half human. Here's more of the scene. The body you soiled, and the bastard child with it. Lightning from the heavens.
The queen and her child were cast into the sea. Your mother was killed, but you, part man, part God, you lived. I've watched over you ever since. Wait.
So they basically watched over him, brought him to a family, all for these other tasks later on. But I think that scene shows that these fallen angels, demigods of the past, ancient aliens, whatever you want to call them, they are all the fallen angels that the Bible tells us about, the ones that bred, with human women, and that bloodline continued from there. That's what the true Illuminati is, the enlightened one, the illumined ones. That's why they have a divine right to rule, because Satan is the lowercase g god of this world. And when he took Jesus up, he told Jesus he would give him all these kingdoms of the earth if he just knelt before him. And Jesus didn't say, you're a liar. He didn't say that, you aren't telling the truth about that you don't have the right to this fallen world. He knew that. He knew what had happened. He knew he did. And that's why these bloodlines are given the authority on earth to do the devil's bidding. And that's why today, you can trace these bloodlines to all these rulers and leaders and kings and presidents. They're all related to each other from these bloodlines. They're battling with each other, but all the while bringing forth the agenda of the devil, just like the giants or the Nephilim, the Titans, all battled with each other, that they're full of rage, full of anger, full of evil. And if you just take into account, like when God, Jesus was the tree of life, and he refers to him as the branch, and we are the fruits of that. Well, what happens to a fruit if it falls off the tree, or if it's plucked off and it just sits there, if nothing's done with it? It rots. Well, what do you think they do? How they make wine and spirits, alcohol? It's from fermented fruit, rotten fruit. And what do you get from that? You get drunk, and you let those spirits in. And that's why we, throughout this world, if we're not connected with our Lord and part of that tree of life, we rot. We become evil. And that's what these fallen, they've been disconnected for so long that they are literally insane with evil, sin, and rage, and death. And that's why it's important. That's why this world, in these end times, it's the harvest. It's the wheat and the tares. The wheat grows, and in the wind it bends because it's so full of seed, so full of fruit. And the tares just stand up straight because they're the defiant weeds, and they are full of nothing. They have nothing to them but rebellion. God bless everybody. I hope I know these videos will reach those who are intended to see them. And this is all of the Lord. And I will make one final video, well, not final, but another video proving, absolute proof, that the message from the Lord and His laws actually transpire and rule this world as well. Thank you.